I'm going to start off quite simply with the fact that although it's wet because I've just hopped out of the shower, this is a 2XL t-shirt. Not only is it a 2XL, but it's kind of a burgundy red, and I'm quite proud of myself. For many, many years, I slipped into that thing where I would just wear black. In fact, I'd pretty much wear the same clothes over and over and over again. I'd get loads of black t-shirts and loads of, these are jean shorts that I'm down here. I'd wear jeans, I'd wear combats, and I'd wear black t-shirts. But as you will have noticed over the course of this channel, and over the last couple of years, I've started sneaking in colours into my kind of wardrobe. I quite like the whole, they're called granddad t-shirts, almost Henley-esque, where you kind of like undo them, and I still get the V-neck, but it's also a t-shirt, and it kind of looks smart, but it's not. Well done, Alan. This is a fashion channel now. Thanks very much. What the fuck? Over the last few years, I've been adding colour. I've been slowly working my way to, varying my clothes, but I no longer have to hide behind black. It's one of the things that I was doing for many years, either black or I'd wear those kind of shirts or overshirts. The reason for this is that you can kind of reshape your body. If you've got an overshirt, you can kind of hide underneath it. Or in winter, autumn kind of thing, I'd wear kind of big knitted jumpers because they look nice. And you could also hide your lumps and bumps under them. But I bought these t-shirts last week, and to finally squeeze into 2XLs and have them comfortable. They're not tight on me. They're just enough loose that they're comfortable. He says, sneezing at the camera. It's a milestone for me mentally. For those who are here for the numbers, I hopped on the scales this morning, 22.12. So I am moving away from the 23s very slowly, but that's fine. I've been on the 12.5 milligrams now for 1 month. I've got a second month in the fridge, and thanks to the price changes, I'm probably going to get a third and put it in the fridge as well. I'm sniffing, I am sneezing, I'm allergic to everything green. I apologise. And if you're not quite sure what these price changes are about, I did a video on my channel that did really, really well. I think it's the video before this, and I'll put a link in the description down below, talking about how Eli Lilly jacking up the prices by 170% in Europe as of September. That takes the standard early adopter jab, so like the 0.25 to from £122 to possibly £330. So what I have been doing is doing some research to help the community into how to microdose on a larger pen. So getting a 15 milligram pen and then counting the clicks. That way you get your dose, but you're paying for one pen and then kind of microdosing that pen, still getting what you should have done. I've even found a little form that you can fill in thanks to my WhatsApp community. So I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to do a video also on should you switch, seeing as Mounjaro is going up in price, should you consider things like Wegovy, Zepbound, WeBound, that kind of thing. And if you do, how to do so. So if those are kind of videos that you'd be interested in, hit subscribe so you don't miss it, or share it with a friend if you feel that that would be more helpful. But those videos will be out in the next week or so. So at the moment, as I said, I've just dropped below 23 stone. I'm now on 22 stone 12. I was chatting with my best mate the other week, and we set out some milestones for me to aim for, which, as previously noted, could mean a bungee jump or skydiving when I'm 18 stone. And he wants to inflict a 5k run on me when I hit like 15 stone. He's one of those weird people that runs and not away from lions. He likes to do the fast walking thing for shits and giggles. I don't get it. I don't understand that. I believe we have evolved the ability to build houses and stuff like that to stop running away from wild animals. But still, I also like the idea of, maybe when I get down to that kind of weight, I think that would be good. Because I want to put myself through the pain, because I want to put myself through the sweating or the twisted ankles. No, but because I can say that I've done it. Do I really want a bungee jump? No, but I can say that I've done it. Do I really want to throw myself out of an airplane and hurtle towards the floor at a speed that will actively kill you? No, but I can say that I've done it. And I think one of the things that kind of triggered that is because I know that there is a weight limit on bungee jumping. I know there is a weight limit on skydiving. So the fact that I know that I can say, right, I started at 27 stone, I lost the weight down to 18 stone, and then I did a bungee jump because I can. It's like in the long run, I'd really love to get to the point where I can sit on an airplane and clip the seat belt together without needing an extender. Why? Because I can. On another point this week, as some of you may have noticed in my WhatsApp community, which is down below, it's completely free to join. There's 150 people now in that community, all sharing their weight loss journey and news articles, by the way. So should you want to get up-to-date news on anything GLP-1 and weight loss. But as I was discussing in the kind of mental health section, I've been so used to being an introvert over the years that you kind of get used to your own bubble. The problem with that is that that bubble shrinks to kind of shrink wrap and vacuum pack yourself. So therefore you feel comfortable in your own little bubble because it's nice and comfy and warm. The problem is that there's no flexibility within that. So therefore you don't grow outside that. And over the last 2 years, because I didn't like the shape of my body, I didn't like my health, I just stopped going out as much. And I mean like little everyday things like, okay, since the COVID thing, it's been so easy to get stuff delivered. You know, you can very easily get every day-to-day stuff. Like I need milk, I need bread, I need loo roll. Fuck it, I'll just get it Deliverooed to the front door. And I've got a Deliveroo Plus account, so I don't get charged for like delivery fees or anything like that. I think it's connected to my Amazon Prime account, so therefore I don't have to whatever there either. So what I've been doing the last week is just making sure I get out the house. But even if it's just 5 minutes, I'll walk to the corner shop and I'll pick up the milk. And I know that doesn't sound much, right? Because in essence, it's not. But it's pushing outside that saran wrap vacuum sealing bubble that I've placed myself in over the course of the last few years. Yes, I'd still go out and I'd still do the school runs. And yes, I'd still go out and I'd still, do the birthday parties or whatever for the kids and stuff. But the rest of the time, I was very comfortable in just getting stuff delivered and not stepping outside. But what that has also meant is that when I did step outside, I felt anxious or I felt worried or nervous or so. What I've been doing the last week is just popping to the corner shop, or I popped to my local pharmacy to pick up my antidepressants. And it's a new pharmacy, but I worked on the things where, I know it sounds weird here, I'm sat here on the internet talking to the internet about my life, right? But sometimes I really struggle in social situations just to engage. There's two sides of me. When I'm in full-blown Alan mode, which could be masking through ADHD or autism, I don't know. I can be the life of the party. I'm the best comedian in the world. I can orchestrate the best things. 5, 10, 20 people hanging out every single word of my speech. I'm funny. I'm charismatic. But I can also, when I go out and about, don't want to make eye contact, and I don't really want to do anything more than, hey, yes, sir, that's £15. Okay, boop, goodbye. There's two very extremes to me. So what I'm trying to do is kind of reintroduce myself to just the world, I guess. Making sure that I'm strolling, making sure that I'm out and about. And that obviously helps me because it's more exercise, I'm more active. The more I push that vacuum sealing out, the slightly wider that bubble becomes. And then over time, yeah, because 6-7 years back, it wasn't really a problem. I'd go out and I'd walk every Saturday. I'd walk at my local big park. It's called Greenhead Park. It's in Huddersfield, West Yorkshire. It's really pretty. You can do circles around it. There's some tennis courts at the top. There's a couple of like lake ponds type things. There's fountains. It's really pretty. There's a bandstand in the middle. Sometimes there's a fair. There's a little cafe, which once again, through my social anxiety, I've never been into, but I'd love to. But I used to walk around that every Saturday. I used to do 4 or 5 laps of it because I liked it. And that would easily be 3, 4, 5k kilometers for people that aren't quite sure. And that kind of fell out of my pattern. Why? Well, sometimes you get into a relationship and those kind of things swap. And not just to blame the relationship, me, because I found it easier to be at home and be a homebody and be a dad or a partner It's easier to wake up in the morning, have a cup of tea, sit there on the sofa and not deal with stuff. So in all, this week's been a weird mash of fashion to excel. Yeah! That's going to be a gif at some point, isn't it? Me dropping away from the 23s, lowering into the high 22s. I'm quite happy with that. And me just stepping outside my bubble. Am I alone in this? Or if you had something similar? Is there certain things that you don't do now because you're fat that you didn't do when you were thin? Remember, subscribe if you want to see how I microdose, or I can learn how to microdose with a 15 milligram pen, so therefore you can stretch it out. It costs less, but you still get your dose. And I'm going to tell you how you can possibly switch medication as well. I'm Alan. I'm losing it. Are you?